The official statistics show if you're from a black or minority ethnic background, you are up to 7 times more likely to be stopped and searched by the police than if you're white. Now, we shouldn't rush to conclusions about those statistics, but everybody involved in policing has a duty to make sure that nobody is ever stopped just on the basis of their skin colour or ethnicity. The law is clear that in normal circumstances, stop and search should only ever be used where there is a reasonable suspicion of criminality, and that is how it should be.
It was quite simple in the beginning. I was just at my mate's house, he was just playing some Xbox, a bit of FIFA, you know, the usual, and we decided to go back to mine.
In this situation, basically, we were called up by CCTV. What appeared to be sort of some kind of drug dealing going on. We were obviously free at the time. We're on sort of uniform mobile patrol, and we've made our way to the location.
I was just walking on my way home, back from a mate's house. No sirens, no nothing. Suddenly, just a police van just popped up, and 2 officers came up. One was on my right, one was on my left. I just said, "All right, officer, do what you want to do."
At which point he's sort of go into his waistband area. Yeah, so as soon as he's done that, my colleague's taken hold of one arm, using reasonable force, and I've done likewise with the other arm.
It was very uncomfortable, and I was actually put up against the wall as well.
The first reaction is just to get onto his hands, because you really don't know what he's got in his waistband.
I didn't quite understand why they were being so aggressive, considering I didn't use any force against them.
The initial call to this individual was that he was drug dealing. However, obviously, drug dealing sort of can involve a number of other things where they've got weapons on them to protect themselves.
He starts giving it, "Oh, you're gay, you're going to start molesting me."
Quiet and relax.
They might put you off a little bit from going in that area because you don't want to get a complaint about molesting him or perceived as being gay.
At the time I was very, very, very embarrassed because it's in public, and on top of my embarrassment I felt a lot of pain because of the way in which my arm was being held.
Obviously then I've located the bit of string that's on his belt, pulled the string up, and obviously found the wash bag which contained all the drugs.
When they actually found something on me, it was almost like a parade. They were actually excited to find this on me. It just added more embarrassment to the situation in hand because it was already in public, and and now that they found something on me, I'm obviously labelled as a criminal or someone that's breaking the law.
I believe that stop and search was something that was given to the police in an effort to tackle and combat crime, but somewhere along the way it's turned into something else, something that's negatively affecting young people in the community, particularly those from ethnic groups. And I think that maybe it's something that definitely needs to change. But as stop and search as a whole, I do believe it is effective in combating crime and preventing someone from being a victim of crime. It's just that you need to make sure that the police are accountable for every time they stop and search a person, so that it's not just to blatantly harass someone.
I was on my way to the doctor's. I had an appointment and it was pretty much an emergency. The police officer stopped me. I asked him why, and apparently someone had told him that I was carrying a knife. I've told him I've got an appointment, I'm rushing. He didn't want to hear it.
I said, we've got an allegation, I just can't let you go. I've got no female officers to come and search you for me. So I said, I'm gonna search you. So I began. I had to.
He asked to look in my bag, and I was like, all right, I've got nothing to hide. Just the way he was in my bag, he nearly ripped my bag. I was mad, and this is a new bag. I was really angry. I was shouting at him. So I
bumped up the bag, couldn't see anything in there. So I said, now I'm going to search you, and basically that was it. She started kicking off.
As far as I'm concerned, it's illegal. That's not right.
And it got really uncomfortable for me, being a male officer. But I just said to her, look, I'm going to search you. I have to do it. I can't just let you walk off if someone says to me that you've got a knife.
I'm shouting at him. I'm shouting at him real loud.
When she starts to kick off, I was thinking, where's the knife? Is it is it readily available to her?
I told him I had to ring my mum so that she could ring the doctors. I told my mum the situation. My mum got angry. My mum was like, let me talk to the officer, because I wasn't calm. And my mum knows I've got a big temper.
And her mum was screaming at me down the phone, and she was screaming in one ear, and I just like shouting at her, please just calm down. There's no need for it.
And then the police officer's telling my mum, and he's shouting down the phone to my mum, and then I'm shouting at him, don't shout at my mum.
And I started patting her down. Not with the palm of my hand, I didn't grab her, just like, you know, back of my hand, just running it down her pockets and stuff like that.
Now I'm angry, I'm shouting at him, don't touch me. And he's not having it, he's not listening to a word I'm saying.
You know, I'm not groping her, I'm just patting back in my hand, that's what we taught to do it.
I was going to freak. I could have hit that police officer.
I'm going to find out where you live and I'm going to send people for you. You can't do this. What you've done is wrong.
Threatening abusive behaviour, you make yourself likely to arrest us.
And this is not a threat.
Kicking off, screaming, you're not searching me, you're touching me up. And then I had to nick her in the end, I had to arrest her.
They arrested me for being aggressive towards the police officer, but I didn't like it. I wanted to make a complaint about the police officer touching me. They should have got a female.
We've been given information and we've got to act on that information. If we don't, then we're going to be seen as obviously not doing our job properly.
Yeah, the police officers took me to the station. They've got nothing on me. I was let out that day.
All the kicking off, all the screaming, shouting, is just completely unnecessary.
Don't get it wrong, there's two sides. Police officers, they know that they got their power, and it's true, they know that most of us here don't know what we can do. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't know what you can do, you can't you can't go to fight, you can't go to fight a fight without training.
It's happened in the past that the police haven't come out well of, and we have to accept that, and I think we have, and we have moved on from it, learning from those mistakes. Also, it's those day-to-day interactions, making sure. It's easy for us sometimes, you get caught up in your job and you've got so much things to do. Just simply going out there and speaking to young people, not just walking past them in the street, but engaging with them. You know, if someone's interaction with the police is only through stop and search, then that's quite sad. You know, if we actually go out there, go to youth clubs, go to schools, then it doesn't just become their sole interaction. They're more likely to speak to police just through their day-to-day encounters, really.
You see what I'm saying? You can't go into a system without knowing the system. But also on our side as well, some of us have to be realistic. Don't think to me like there's some of us that do get troubled. But if you know you're involved in crime and you get stopped and searched, you can't say you're getting harassed. You're in crime. You see what I'm saying? So if you're already involved, you're just lucky you didn't get caught with nothing that time.
If a person's unhappy about the grounds that a police officer supplied regarding a stop and search, they always have the right to complain about the police officer's conduct and what they've done. Anybody can do that. You can dial 101 or visit any police station and ask to speak to the on-call duty inspector.
They should be doing their job correctly. As this lady said at the beginning, they like make an oath when they go into that job that they're going to, you know, like just they're not going to abuse their authority, and we shouldn't have to be complaining because it's them who should be doing their jobs properly. We don't need to be wasting time trying to complain.
Just come back from the shopping centre, walking towards the bus stop anyway, and at the corner of my rear view sight I've seen the police car, like police van, not even a car, a van, like about 4 officers. They come out, jumped onto me, like literally jumped onto me.
Under Section 1 of pay.
There's been a recent increase in gang tension in this particular area. We've been directed to conduct patrols in a marked carrier. The reason why we've got 2 officers out is one would be the contact officer speaking to the person, the other one would be the cover officer to step back at slight distance to monitor both people that have been, like both the officer and the person that's been spoken to.
Would you like to tell me your name?
You know my name. This is
right,
the first
have you
time
got
this week.
They're coming with force anyway. They're not coming to say hello or coming to ask questions. They're coming like to say they want to nick me. I'm a little bit upset, which of course is only normal when you ain't done nothing.
They've become quite irate, trying to walk off. and asking them to take their hands out of their pockets. All of that was refused.
Ask me my name. I'm saying, bro, you know me, you got my description, so you tell me my name, innit? I ain't done nothing. I've been stopped like 5 times this week. Like, I'm stressing already. Like, all of this is, it's just not necessary.
All right, I can understand that maybe he's been stopped God knows how many times that week, but this is the first time I've met him, and especially with the aggressiveness that's displayed towards you, your emotion do run quite high.
And as I flipped, I'm wilding out, so my hands are all over the place. They're telling me put my hands down. So she's like, oh, none of that. Put him on the floor.
If it's still kicking off, then obviously we'll use force to detain that person if it's necessary.
Thinking I'm going to wild out on them or punch them in the face or something, which none of that weren't going to happen.
He was placed on the floor, which is the safest place for him to be.
I was embarrassed when I was on the floor because people are watching like to say it's a movie. It's not fun and games.
The situation still doesn't diffuse. If anything, it gets more irate.
They've got me in a position where I can't really move. If they pulled my arm anymore, yeah, they would have brought my arm still.
His friends were also quite irate.
Oh, you can't do that, no.
What are you doing? No, bruv, you
Nothing was found during the search, and the handcuffs were removed, and he wasn't arrested.
They've got all of that and realised it wasn't me. I didn't get no apology after, no nothing. They just picked me up and said, next time you're mouthy, we'll take you to the Nick.
You're very much there to do a job, and not everybody's going to agree with the job you're doing or enjoy what you're doing.
It ain't part of the job to take the piss out of an innocent person. It's not part of the job to make someone look like a criminal.
And if they're cooperative, then usually we say thanks and we're off.
You just treat me like to say I've just raped your mum or I've just done something bad to you, and then I don't even get no sorry.
Well, I'm not here to please everybody. I'm here to do my job and go home.
Right, let's go.
Sometimes it's just a feeling of disheartened once you've had to just stop like that somebody was that aggressive with you.
I was vexed. The whole way home I was just vexed.
Hurry up, man.
What we must do is, when we stop people, we can't have, I stopped 10 people yesterday, but none of those 10 people had anything on them. That's wrong. If I stop 10 people, I need to at least have half of those people were stopped because they had a knife, because they smoked cannabis, or they were doing something wrong on an estate. I shouldn't just do it because I have to get figures, or my team have to get figures. We are more focused, intelligence-led, and we do it because we think we have the reasons to do it.